That's that's
What?
that's
Yeah?
Why do you always start the recording in like the awkward silence?
like it has
Tanner was talking and then he stopped.
that's that's the that's the point. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Experience Podcast. I'm joined by Daniel Silverstein. Did you want your name doxxed? Was that okay? Oh, wait, it's on your
Name's
YouTube account. Yeah, okay. And someone else. I won't dox our mystery guest. Okay.
I feel like you
So
can
you
say
can
my
introduce.
name. That's okay.
And I'm eating cake.
Cake.
So, Daniel, why don't you
You're
kick
getting
us
so
off here?
jealous.
It's really good cake.
What are we
I'm so
celebrating,
jealous
Tanner?
now.
Yeah, what's the celebration?
I'm not at liberty to say. I'm just at liberty to eat this cake. I don't.
I
It might
I
be the
know it's a big.
sweetest cake I've ever had in my life. It's like coconut, vanilla, chocolate. It's
Where's
honestly
it
amazing.
from?
I have no idea. Like someone brought it. So I have no idea what's going on. I'm honestly a little bit drunk. I was really unhappy today. Believe it or not, work started picking up. So I had a lot of work today.
What
And so
happens? Yeah,
Wait, what do you do?
I'm
I
not
don't
that's a
know
good
what you
question.
do.
Serious. What does Tanner do?
What I do now, well, I can give a little bit of an insight. Essentially what I was trying to do is okay. I can say what I was trying to do today, or should I explain just what I do in general? What would you like to
Either
do?
is good.
Okay, because
Well,
today
I'm
was
curious
just
about what you do in
class
general.
of
But
what I do is I work in a software company and I do like post sales, like implementation, that kind of stuff, like support for that, basically.
okay.
So I was doing this really manual task and I told my boss about it and he's like, wait, don't do that. And so he showed me a better way to do it. And yeah, and then I tried giving it like a demo in front of the rest of our team, like, hey, so here's what you can do in the future instead of doing this manual task. And I didn't explain it correctly. We had a conversation about it, like me and my boss after. And it's like, yeah, you have to think about these things, and you'll get there. So it was productive, but it was a little bit like, kind of wish I was better at my job, I guess.
Happens when you're new. It
Yeah,
happened to
exactly.
me the other day. I was like trying to explain something. My boss was like, "Not quite, but good effort."
Yeah,
I was like,
it's like,
I know nothing about how to repair gas turbines, but I'm trying.
so yeah, that was my day basically. I was doing that, and then my boss showed me a better way, and now I've been trying to like loop people in and teach people about how to do this. But as you teach people, you slowly get better, and then you slowly understand it more. So there's like the silver lining, I guess. So yep, but work's picking up, and that's pretty much my update. I'd say from the last time I was on this podcast, I also started watching King of the Hill. So, you're muted, Elizabeth.
Uh, we'll still figure that out. Okay, King of the Hill.
Have you heard of it, Daniel? I think
I've heard of. I'm aware. I'm aware of the show.
I think it's helped me contextualize kind of my relationship with my father. Um, and what do I mean by that? Ask me what I mean by that. Unless you don't care about it, which case
What do you mean by that? Can you hear
Thank
me
you for
yet? Am I
asking.
rambling into oblivion still?
Can I repeat that? What? Did you
What?
want me? I'm sorry.
No, I said, what did you mean by that? I'm just rambling into oblivion until y'all can hear me again.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. What did you say?
Okay.
I'm taking that.
No,
Um,
I'm asking you to elaborate on your
yeah,
relationship with your father that's been
like
explained to
if you
you by a
watch King of
cartoon TV show.
if you watch King of the Hill and you know my dad, which I'm pretty sure like neither of you guys do, like then you'd understand what I'm talking about. If not, then I can't really explain it to you. I mean, Daniel, you know the show and you've met my dad once.
Well, I think I met him twice. Yeah, I don't know.
Does that make sense?
Sure. It's
Okay.
hard for me to put the
I
pieces
don't know.
together.
It's like it's more like you kind of understand. I understand the characters a lot more now. Like I watched it as a kid, I was like, "Holy shit, this is terrible." Family Guy's funnier. Da 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 da. And now you watch it, and it like makes more sense. I don't know. As like someone who's older, I guess it makes more sense. It's like it's Family Guy for but for dads. Does that make sense?
You feel you've graduated to higher
Yeah.
forms of art.
Form of comedy and art. Yeah. Like Family Guy's for 13-year-olds. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I mean, 13 might be a little
I
young,
haven't
but
watched that either.
Like who
Like,
appreciates Family Guy
you're
more than
on
children?
to who aren't supposed to be watching it.
Like
well,
that Beavis and Butthead, I think when we were 13 was like, oh, your parents let you watch Beavis and Butthead? No, I had to, you know, turn on the TV late at night. I mean, like those people are the cool kids. But King of the
sorry, I
Hill
wasn't
is
What
cool enough.
about
different.
BoJack Horseman? Isn't that like
But that's
a
on Netflix.
depressed adult cartoon?
I'd say BoJack Horseman is, um, I think, more easily accessible than King of the Hill. Am I gatekeeping King of the Hill? Yes. Yes, I am. King of the Hill is for certified dads only.
Hmm.
Okay.
No, I'm joking, but I'd say I don't know. BoJack is genuine. I think the jokes are kind of more difficult to understand in King of the Hill, but like once you get the style of humor, like it's a little bit harder to get attuned to that sense of humor in King of the Hill than BoJack Horseman. And BoJack Horseman isn't just about humor; it's a little bit more comprehensive show than that. So trust me, I know it's one of my favorite shows. Um, and I appreciate the humor in it, but I also appreciate some of the darker tones and you know the message behind it and the characters. Um, King of the Hill is a little bit lighter than that. Sometimes it's darker, but it's definitely a lot lighter and focus on more like how can you make suburbia boring suburbia. I don't know. It's very funny and it's like my dad is very much Hank Hill. I mean, I didn't realize until like I watched it again at my friend's house. Like my friend was just watching it. And I was like, "Did I tell you about this?" I'm like, "No." I think it's making a resurgence. King of the Hill is making a resurgence because people are watching it now.
Is it?
I have two friends independently watching King of the Hill,
Uh, uh, Tanner knows two people. It must be popular.
yes. So like my sample size is pretty small. I get it, but like I've had people phone me in, like and you know, did you ever meet Henry Daniel?
Uh,
He came to our apartment one time.
Henry.
But basically, he was like, "Yeah, I think King of the Hill makes a lot more sense. It's like my dad's definitely like he's. I think a lot of people can see their dads in Hank Hill because I think that's the point of this. That he's the everyman, the every dad. You know what I mean? He's like he's pretty much the American dad.
For
Almost.
white people, yeah.
For what? Yes. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Elizabeth? No?
No, I don't know
No.
anything about these shows.
Okay. Well, then yeah, what I'm saying is pretty much like nonsense. And that's the point as well, is like I'm trying to fill, and I've been talking about nonsense for the past 12 minutes.
I'm still really focused on the fact that you have cake and I don't, and I
It's a
want cake.
really good cake. It's
You can
literally,
go get cake if you want.
See, I could cake, but I think it's raining.
Well, cancel everything.
And yeah, that's putting a barrier between me and cake.
Yeah. I forgot how good cake was. You know, not to flex on you guys, because I know you guys are also working adults, but as a working adult, everything feels much more deserved and yes, guilt free. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
What
I
is
just started being a
Yeah.
working adult in January, so
so did Tanner.
unless you count grad school. Can't say words, I'm
I
tired.
don't count grad school.
Granville, yeah.
I do.
Grad school plus Greenville equals Granville. I even got this fun Palmetto trend, the best in dining, shopping, home services, professionals, and more. Junk ad in my mailbox today.
Is
Wow.
it that? It's that Greenville, right?
South,
Have you seen the ad campaign for Greenville to visit Greenville, South Carolina?
the one with the falls or something else.
It maybe they had a slogan that was, "Yeah, that Greenville." No, it was around 2016. It premiered on Georgia television as well. Like it was literally, I just remember a almost condescending, smug voice with green and then white lettering that, "Yeah, that Greenville."
Oh,
Like this might be
probably.
I don't know, Mandela effect, where it's like you're remembering something and then maybe it was actually Greenville, Colorado or something weird. I'm pretty sure it was Greenville,
Greenville. It's a
South Carolina.
Greenville, North Carolina. There's one
What?
in South and North Carolina.
Okay, maybe I'm getting confused. I'm pretty sure it's the South Carolina one. That's the
It
big
probably
one.
would be if it was on Georgia TV. I mean, it's only
Like,
like 2 hours.
come visit Greenville, and it was their tourism campaign. It was, "Yeah, that Greenville." And it was condescending and it was taunting, and I hated it. That's why I remember it because it made me feel something, which in today's day and age is very rare. And I think I've been talking for the past, yeah, like I said, 12 minutes straight. So I don't usually do that. So I'm going to open up the floor to Daniel and
I,
Elizabeth. I think I've set the stage very nicely for you guys to also talk for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah,
Daniel,
Daniel.
hey, let's see you talk for 10 minutes straight, and I'll just bob my head.
no, sorry, my neighbors are congregating, I guess, outside. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're
That's what
doing
neighbors
laundry or
do.
something. Yeah. Well,
Guys, I'm
not
so
really.
excited. There's gonna be March Madness games in Greenville Friday and Sunday.
Actually, which games are
Mhm.
you going?
No, I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be in Atlanta Friday evening and Saturday. So I don't know if I'll make it back in time Sunday for the games. But yeah, they're playing in like the arena that's like super close to my apartment, which is very cool. So I like
Did
to
you
drive by
sneak
the
in?
stadium every day.
Because I imagine the tickets are probably crazy expensive, right? Like,
Probably. I haven't even bothered to look.
as of today, what they got to be in the hundreds, like just the thousands, because it starts in 4 days. I mean, the
Yeah.
games. Right? I've
Yeah, I
never
mean it's
been
early
to.
round games, but still.
True, that is true. Daniel, let's hear you weigh in on this. Would you go to a March Madness game for XXX amount of dollars?
I don't think that they shouldn't cost. They probably don't. The early round games probably don't cost $1,000. They probably
Well,
cost a few hundred.
okay, let me put it in a better hypothetical before you start dodging the question. Because that was a yes or no, by the way.
Okay.
Uh, so say Georgia Tech is in, top 16. Would you pay? What would you pay?
So I'm
Wait,
traveling though.
yeah. Well, just for the ticket. Say you and Elizabeth are right next to the stadium, so you don't have to travel.
Oh wow. Do we
Okay,
move
so
in together? What's the situation here?
remove that element. You're literally just paying for the ticket. I want Daniel and Elizabeth at the same time to say what they'd pay to see Georgia Tech top 16. Ready? At the count when I
Top
No, no,
16?
no.
when I
Hold on.
go, what is the maximum amount of money you'd realistically pay? Like honestly, be honest with me. That you pay. When I say go, say it on my go. So Daniel, don't wait. Actually, Daniel, you say it on one. Elizabeth, you say it on go. Daniel's gonna wait for you. That would be a total Daniel move. Be like, oh, it's
Not
lag.
fair.
Oh, I lagged out. No, so Daniel won.
Freeze up.
Elizabeth,
Oh,
if you
sorry,
fail,
froze up. Didn't.
don't say anything. All right? Because I know Daniel's
I'll
gonna.
just say it first, Tanner. I'll just say it first.
Well, I wanted to hear you say it at the same time, but maybe that wasn't realistic. 'Cause I didn't want
I'm
your
trying
answers
to.
to influence each other.
I haven't like paid for a sporting event in a while, so I'm trying to get like a frame of reference here.
Well, maybe you should. You should support our athletes. The athletic department doesn't pay them.
My hockey tickets the other week were like $45, I think, for the
Also, the
Greenville
athletes
Swamp
don't. The
Rabbits.
college athletes don't get paid. What do you?
That's what I was joking about.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, that's why I said support our college athletes and the athletic departments that don't pay them. Um, okay, so ready? I'm gonna count down. Count down.
I know. I would probably say
Right?
it's 16, right?
Yeah.
So, am I going to more games after this, presumably?
Who
'Cause,
would you
you
who would you
know,
want Georgia Tech to be playing? Someone good, maybe an ACC rival or something like that. But a
but
realistic.
presumably if they win, going to the next game, right?
Okay, so then you'd pay less money because you'd want to go to the final eight.
I don't know. That's why. Would you? Or do you have to count that? Like, oh well.
Georgia Tech hasn't been to the top 16 in how many years?
Uh, is it 18?
Been a while.
19? 20?
Oh wait, I was looking up ticket prices for the games.
And?
Okay,
Well, I
last
haven't
made.
clicked on it yet.
Yeah, it was 2004.
Oh, it was 2004. That was like 2000. 2000.
Let's
Those are
see. Want to sit in the like really nice, like half court front area. It's 630, 783.
That's not bad. And you get to sit next to Drake, too. Because I know he likes to go on the
Well, that's not like the fancy people seats.
Well, I know Drake
Those are
likes
already sold out.
the
what
courtside
what
ones.
seats are you looking at right now?
Seats. So it's Auburn and Jacksonville State, and then USC and Miami.
But that's
Or
for this weekend's games. That's for first round games, right?
the cheapest ticket you can buy to one of the games is $74. Then the nosebleeds.
So terrible. Wow.
Yeah, but that price will go up in the later round. I mean,
Yeah.
I think 600 is probably
There's already a
fine.
$600 seat.
Yeah, I think 600
That's
would
not
be fine.
top 16, though. I'm talking about Georgia Tech top 16.
Yeah, we're talking about two games in. I think 600 would be fine.
Okay.
I could do that. It's stuff like that. It's like a couple plane tickets.
Were you a bigger basketball or football fan?
Uh, I don't know. I appreciate all talents.
Oh my gosh. For the Sunday games, there's over $1,000 tickets.
That's what I was
Like
thinking.
$1,600. That's
Yeah,
for
the weekend
Sunday.
games will be more.
But that's
Yeah,
for
the weekend.
Drake, right? The 1600. That's like courtside Drake.
I don't know if it's necessarily courtside. It's just the
Yeah.
first
Which
row.
tickets are you sitting next to Drake? I mean,
Drake. Like
The
what?
Drake ones are already sold out.
Oh,
how do we get next to Drake?
how do I sit next to Drake at a basketball game? Okay, Google. How do I sit next to Drake? That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, my assumption has got to be that they're gonna have to like redo this somehow. Because I mean, last time I went there, it's a hockey arena.
Well, they
They
just
make it for other things. They're just
Yeah,
gonna
they
have to
just
cover the ice and put seats on the
changed the
ice.
floor. Yeah, they just changed the floor out.
And Drake was there helping. He wanted to see the basketball get on.
Does
Probably.
Drake go to all these games?
I'm pretty sure he goes to every basketball game.
Okay.
Like, If there's a basketball
ever
game,
at
sure
the
you
same
did.
time.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you went to a couple Georgia Tech ones. You also sat courtside, right?
I can't confirm that.
Okay, then what good are you?
Didn't Trae Young go to a Georgia Tech?
I know Trey Young goes, but if I wanted to sit next to Trey Young and Drake, I'd probably sit next to Drake and then Trey Young. Just
That's
because I
fair.
wouldn't want to like awkwardly like be like, hey Trey, hey Drake. I'd want to be like, hey Drake, sits forward, hey Trey. Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
That way
Uh,
you only have to look one direction, you can have a
Correct.
converse. So you're
Correct.
making Drake be in the middle.
Correct.
You're making
not a
Drake
middle
have
guy.
to look back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'd be like, you get to sit next to Drake. You know what I mean? Well, who would you guys want to sit next to? Like, what's your dream seating order? You, Drake, and Trey Young. Let's hear it. I'd like to hear.
Yeah. Listen, if you were to be with two guys, which order would you be in?
I thought I had to pick which celebrities I want to sit next to.
No, it's just you and Drake and Trey Young.
Oh,
See,
I have
like
to
into
pick.
those.
I have to pick out a. I was gonna pick like Michelle Obama. Why do I have to
No,
have Drake and Trey
Drake
Young?
and Trey Young. Like in this hypothetical, I mean, they're the only people that go to every basketball game ever.
Yeah, it's gotta be
In high school basketball
pretty
games. And Daniel knows that as an avid basketball fan.
I'd probably sit next to Drake.
So would you also follow my order?
Yeah, I think I'd follow that same order.
Me? Okay. It's not like you in the middle of Trey Young and Drake.
No,
Okay. And
I'm with.
Daniel.
I don't want to have to look back and forth at the two of them. Then I'll feel like I'm cutting stories.
Yeah. Daniel, I know you're a fan of both Drake and Trey Young. So what do you get
Yeah,
sandwiched between them? What's your dream
I
eating
I
order?
have no opinion on this topic.
Not a single one. I know for a fact that isn't true, and I can prove it.
Go ahead.
So, Daniel, as a young adult,
Careful.
you love pop culture, and you also love basketball. By your own admission, you appreciate that form of athleticism. So, being that I know that you like both of those, you want to sit next to and have equal screen time between Drake and Trey. So you want to be in between because you admire both of them equally. Is that correct?
Sure.
Interesting. I think I really figured you out on this episode.
Yeah, I think you got it. I think
I
you
think you got to the
nailed that
core
one.
of what it means to be Daniel. The
It's
enigma solved.
a scary path to go down.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done asking weird questions. I was able to, fill up 25 minutes of time.
Yeah, Elizabeth, can you please talk about anything else?
That's a thought-provoking question.
Well, I went to Disney World a couple weekends ago.
Not a question.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a question, but I could talk.
Phrase it as a
like
question.
Disney.
Phrase it as a question.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a few weeks ago
I mentioned
that
that
you
I
were
was
going to Disney
going.
World. The last time you were on.
Last podcast I was on. I think I last time I was
Well,
on. It was a very good trip. Captain Jack Sparrow is my new boo thing. He kept flirting with me. I got to go to all 4 parks, which was super fun, but exhausting because I did it in 2 days. So I was like dead on the drive back home. But it was so good. I rode Space Mountain twice, which was so good. It was the first and the last ride I rode in Magic Kingdom, which was like peak. And there were so many good snacks. Like, I could spend so much more money than I did just like buying slushies. Like, they had so many good ices. Disney is really out to get you, man. But they have good food.
What was your favorite?
is
The ones you've mentioned. Sorry, Daniel. cutting
I
off.
was gonna ask if food is getting too expensive at amusement.
I
Inflation.
feel like generally that's kind of, I feel like a consensus.
I mean, does it
Like,
not go up with inflation, or are you talking about like it, it goes up beyond the inflation rate, Daniel?
I I guess I
like
haven't
if you
crunched the
think about
numbers.
getting stadium food
Yeah, it's always
and
been
like,
expensive. They charge a premium just for like, oh, we know
yeah,
you're drunk and hungry, and some combination of those two. Um, Pay extra for food for the convenience, right?
hmm
That's how movie theaters get you. They're like, oh, look, we have those little cookie dough bites that are like, cookie dough surrounded in chocolate. You can't get that anywhere else. We know you want to watch a movie with them, so then you have to pay for them because nowhere else has them. Literally, nowhere else has those little cookie dough
You're really getting specific here.
movie theaters.
Love these cookie dough
Speaking
bites.
speaking of movie theaters, has anyone seen The Batman yet?
Yes, that's actually where I had my cookie dough bites last.
Is that is that why you're focused on the Kick It Bites? Because you went to the movie theater recently?
And
That was
you saw
fun.
that? Yeah.
I did see the Batman. I thought it was actually a very fantastic movie.
I want to go see it. It's on my list of things to do in the near future.
You
I
have a
read
big list of things to do in the near future?
No?
Oh.
Just got
It's
done.
the
Not
only thing on the
really.
list. That's it.
That's just, yep,
List of one.
Daniel,
clean
you
my
look.
house, go to the movies.
Have you seen it,
You
Daniel?
gotta clean up. I've seen the movie.
You've seen the movie,
Um,
or you've seen a
yes.
movie?
Both. The problem is I saw it in like an older, well, the theater they renovated, but the screen that I was in is like the upstairs one that they didn't renovate. I think it's because of like historic reasons. And so, but like the problem is the lights were on the whole
Oh,
movie. Like like they have like the emergency lighting on, right? Like normally, but these lights were a little brighter than usual where like you could see like everything in the theater. Like it was pretty bright. And one of them was like right within my eye line. That
the
was
entire
a
movie,
little
it
too
was
bright.
like
Especially for this movie where it's pretty dark throughout.
super
It's like
dark. Like it's kind of hard to see it
squinting.
at some points.
Yeah, well, especially when the lights are on right in your eye. And I'm like, oh man, is that Batman or is that just a car? I don't know. So yeah,
But what you think of it, squint free? Like,
squint
did you
free.
your eyes?
Tanner, you can't say that. That's probably racist.
No, like you said, you were squinting because of the light. No?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Tanner, you've been canceled on this podcast
I
many
know. So
times,
like,
so
what do I have to fear? I might as well just.
yeah.
Yeah, Daniel, I hate you.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
so who is it too much spoilers if I asked who was the best villain in the movie? Or
It was the
is
Penguin.
it too soon?
What do you mean? Who's the best villain?
Are there not multiple Batman villains in this movie? Have I been
Sure.
misled?
There's
Yeah,
multiple
but there's
chronicled Batman villains, but there's really only one and a half central villains.
every Batman movie has several villains.
I think
I
she's
don't know.
asking about the last couple minutes of the film.
No, she's not. Um,
I haven't
Are you
seen it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
asking like you're trying to like broach the subject of a certain cameo?
no, she's stop.
No.
No.
I am not.
Jesus, Tanner. Tanner's like, could I spoil it for you?
Oh, I thought that's what she was alluring to. I swear.
No, she's
No,
not.
I'm asking like I thought that
Oh,
like
jeez.
the Riddler and the Penguin were both in this movie,
Yeah, that's what I
right?
said.
Yes.
One and a half villains. Penguin's
Yeah,
not really
so
a
like
villain. More like just
Penguin's in the movie.
a mob boss with extra steps.
okay.
Like that's not a
So
villain.
who
Yeah, he is. He's a
like
villain.
Yeah, he's a
was
villain because he like owns a nightclub. You know what I mean? Like
that makes him a villain automatically?
in Daniel's mind, apparently. That's why I said he was one and a half villains because he's kind of on the
He's a
fence.
he's a mobster. Is that a villain?
No, Daniel, he hasn't done anything wrong, and you can't prove that.
I think they did prove it.
The
No,
whole
I don't think
point.
they did.
I think that's kind of the point of the movie, is they're trying to prove it.
That what? The Penguin is evil? No, it's mainly after the Riddler. They don't really care about the Penguin because he hasn't like tried to attack Batman, right? Like, if as soon as you try to attack Batman, that's like a crime punishable with like almost death.
I mean, so was you seen like the car thing in the trailer?
The Batmobile,
No, like the car
Yes.
scene. Yeah, where like, like
Batmobile's in the movie.
there's a
Spoiler.
car chase. Penguin's killing a lot of people in the car chase.
Yeah. Oh,
Probably.
clearly with negligent like manslaughter, he's like a bad person. So from like a legal perspective, yeah. From
I
a
feel like even
cinematography,
not from a legal perspective, running people over is bad.
like not super villain bad.
Causing major traffic problems and car damage and
Okay, so here's the like there's different degrees of murder. Like premeditated, like there's like first, second, third, and you can have certain clauses, I guess, of murder. I don't know the right word, but like premeditated, like well thought out, like I am going to murder this person. I'm going to use a pickaxe. I'm going to do it at 6 p.m. on Thursday. Like that kind of like premeditation. Like that's what the Riddler's guilty of, right? He has plans to be like, I'm going to kill people at certain times, doing this, right? He's premeditated. Whereas the Penguin, he causes traffic accidents, sure, but he doesn't be like, I'm going to go cause traffic accidents. It's more like, ah, shit, the freaking bat is chasing me, so I'm going to go cause a traffic accident. Oh, oops, it was an accident. I wasn't intending to like fuck up the highway. You know what I mean?
But you just said he did intend, like he didn't premeditate it, but he intended to cause an accident once Batman was chasing him.
Okay, he did, but it wasn't like he set out that day being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go cause an accident." It wasn't until Batman provoked that like fight or flight. And I use flight kind of jokingly,
Because penguins can't fly.
because penguins can't
it's a
fly.
penguin. It's a penguin joke. It's a, okay.
Yeah, that was at the
So,
penguin.
so is this now? Are we turning the tables? Is it Batman's fault for chasing the penguin and not letting him live his?
Well, let me just say, if you watch that car chase,
Is this victim blaming?
a lot more people would be alive if the Batman didn't go after this guy. Daniel, am I not wrong there?
This is like the opposite of victim blaming. It's like
It's Batman
Like-
blaming.
Is Batman,
aggressor innocenting. I don't know what the term is here.
it was
It's
a
not victim blaming.
pretty intense car chase. Like
Yeah,
pretty severe car accidents.
but
rather
okay,
than results.
but and without revealing too much, Jim Gordon is also in pursuit.
Way behind them, not like
Okay, but like if the
Rocket
police are
threats.
involved too, this is a law enforcement issue.
yeah. But
He's
Because
running
he's a mob boss.
it's
because he's a
this-
mob boss. Yeah,
I think this car chase wasn't a police issue, right? Wasn't it just Gordon undercover? He wasn't supposed to be there,
sure, but that still counts as a police issue.
but he wasn't chasing with police sirens.
Because he had his undercover. He didn't have the car.
So it's like if you had an undercover car chasing the Penguin would be like it's undercover. It's not a freaking Batmobile with rocket boosters. It's the freaking Batman. I have to stop him. Like causing accidents. If it was just a casual car, less severe. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think we need to move on from whatever this is. Whatever.
Okay, let's move on
Penguin?
to Robert Pattinson's youthful eyeliner in the movie. I've seen
Yeah.
lots of
Oh, an
memes
eyeliner.
about it.
I think that
But
I heard that like the reason for it is because in all the other like old Batman movies, they like have the eye like gone, and then like as soon as they take the mask off, it's gone. So they were like, well, we have to have him actually having it on in this movie.
I think like half of all superheroes wear eyeliner. It's like part of it, right? Don't like.
Oh, like if you
Maybe a
have a
decal.
mask, it's not gonna like go down to like your eyelids. Like you would have to put on something if you wanted it to blend in.
Yeah, like doesn't Green Arrow in the show Arrow, which I haven't watched in like 5 years, doesn't he wear eyeliner?
I have no.
Maybe. It makes sense. Like if you're wearing a mask, like no, I thought his costume looked good. I thought he looked good. I thought Robert Pattinson was very good as Batman. I kind of see the appeal of the hunky dreamboat who's like emotionally unavailable because he's Batman. Yeah, like there's like he's kind of he was a fad when Twilight came out. I think you know what I mean. And now he's coming back as like whoa, you know what I mean? You guys understand?
No, I don't understand.
No, I'm just gonna leave you out to hang on that one. Just kidding.
You know what I mean?
The inner teenage girl in me was like, Edward.
Yeah,
Somewhere in my parents' house, my
I
old
think
Team Edward
he's the
blanket
new
is.
generation's Edward, if that makes any sense.
No,
Yeah.
Although, can we talk about Edward versus Cedric Diggory? Cedric Diggory was it.
But which one was a wizard and one was a vampire? Can they be?
Yeah,
What?
one died.
Help me understand that
Well,
distinction.
both of them did. What distinction?
Why was
Wizard versus
Cedric?
vampire?
Why was Cedric more of a hunk than Edward?
Well, Edward cooked like really tasty. I don't know. And Cedric was, just living his little Hufflepuff prefect life.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Living.
Was.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Cedric. Pour one out for Cedric tonight, I guess.
Yeah, well, sure.
Maybe that's why Batman's so emo.
I think so. I think he just plays like the.
For our listeners,
For our listeners, I've made a.
For all of you who cannot see Tanner's face right now.
That was my best, like Robert Pattinson.
be glad you didn't see it.
He's got his mouth slightly open.
Sulky
always.
hot guy face.
You know what I mean? Like his mouth is just slightly parsed open. Like
I'm sad. But I don't want to admit I'm sad, but I want you to know that I'm sad based on my resting face.
exactly. I'm trying to do it, but I can't do it without smiling.
But I'm also trying to be dark and brooding and mysterious and hunky.
It looks like I'm just really.
You're like.
My eyes are.
You're doing your lips like. Who's that lady? What's her name? Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh yeah.
She always does her lips like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You look like the 4th of July.
Yeah, for our listeners, Tanner turned into Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah. I tried to do my best, Cedric Diggory, Edward, Batman.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah, it just looked like. But you know what I mean. His mouth was never closed during the movie. It was always like very open slightly. You know what I mean?
Well,
like he does that on purpose. I know he does it.
I'm gonna overanalyze this movie now when I finally go see it.
He's rarely Bruce Wayne though. He's kind of always got the cowl on. So that probably overemphasizes the open mouth situation because that's all you see, right? Because the mask one comes down to the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the. What does it have, Elizabeth?
The bat ears.
It's a cowl. No, but all in all, I'd say 8.3 out of 10.
Yeah, that's.
What would you say?
Rating. 8.491 out of 10.
Really? Why the 9.1?
My rating system.
Why not? Why don't you have sig figs to the second digit?
Yeah, my rating system has 4 significant figures.
Why?
That's so many options.
Yeah, it's for all the nuances.
Yeah, they had like minus 0.9 ticks for what every time he had his mouth open. Like,
yeah, honestly.
Sound like a monkey when I laugh.
But yeah, I thought the movie was good. It's no, Dark Knight. I still think the Dark Knight was more of a focus on maybe like the relationship between Joker and Batman. Relationship between them and the dynamic, I should say, and how that was super interesting. Whereas this one was more kind of like Zodiac or Seven, but with Batman. So they're very different, but you can appreciate both, I think. But I like the other one. It was just, I think it was cool. I don't
Okay, I
know. You
haven't
guys are
seen
also.
Zodiac or Seven. What are those?
Just
Okay, so
it's they're kind of like Batman.
it's like the newest Batman.
It's kind of like the newest Batman movie that I also haven't seen.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like um Daniel, help me out here. You watch
Is the
movies.
dynamic
Well,
the police coming for Batman and Batman fighting crime more than Batman's relationship with the actual crime bosses?
no, it's not about that. It's more of like a mystery. Like
Yeah,
the Riddler's doing some weird stuff.
we gotta stop him before he makes his next
Yeah.
next
Not
kill.
like a who done it, but more of like a why done it. Like you want to know
And more
what's
like how
going
do
on.
we stop it?
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know it's the Riddler, right? Like you like, and you know he's in the movie, so it's kind of like,
hmm
and the
Yeah,
first scene or
who done it?
one of the first scenes, like it's already a riddle in there. They throw a riddle right there, so it's like okay. Tanner, did you
Does he
solve any of the
do the
riddles?
riddles with the like cutout letters from like magazines?
It's justice. It's my Batman response.
There's Batman.
The answer is justice. Mouth open. That was the answer to the first riddle. I don't know. It's like I'm
No, that
blind,
was.
but I can't see, but I'm or
I
whatever.
don't think he does the cutout letter.
He
No, I
does
don't think he ever.
birthday cards.
Yeah, it's similar but different. Yeah, it's not exactly cutout letters, but it's the idea is there.
hmm
You're my favorite grad student. Congrats on graduating college. You know what I mean? Like, that like kind of card where it's like,
hmm
you're my
Like
favorite nephew.
like a Hallmark card,
Yeah, like a Hallmark like cheesy kid card, but then it's a
greeting
murder.
cards.
That
Is
it's
that?
yeah,
What
it's
is
about
it,
the
like
murder of a.
murder card?
It's a murder. It's a murder
You're
card.
my favorite person to murder.
Exactly. You're my favorite nephew. You know what I mean?
So Tanner, you didn't solve any of the riddles.
What do you mean? Batman solved them in the movie. What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
Oh, like
Did
before
you solve
Batman
them
solves
before
them.
Batman? Come on.
Okay.
that's how that
Answer.
works. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I thought you were talking about like if there were like secret riddles like behind the scenes
Oh
or go to the
no,
Batman.
maybe I don't know. Not probably, but
I thought there was something like on I don't know back of a cereal box. Like I thought that's what you were talking about at first.
there's a website that you can go to
Yes, my
that
friend told me
I'll
about that.
stop talking about.
That has all the riddles.
Probably yeah. Anyway,
It's
I won't look it
probably
up. Not until
Tanner,
we
any
watch the movie.
riddles?
any riddles? Well, I knew the one from the trailer where he says it's justice.
How did he
Right?
say it?
It's justice. The answer's justice. I think
I can't even remember the other ones.
um, I can't either.
Um,
It's a bear. Right? Isn't that one of them? Like a bear?
was it?
Like a grizzly bear?
Sounds familiar.
Does he do the voice? Does he do the Batman voice?
No,
Uh,
it's not like gravelly.
Or does he just have his own Batman voice?
he has his own Batman voice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like a deeper, darker Pattinson.
Yeah. It's not like, you know,
Yeah, he's not
like
snoring.
open stuff in it. Yeah. Where is she? That kind of stuff. That was
He's
good,
not snoring.
You sound like my grandpa on his CPAP machine.
Yeah,
right?
like,
Grandpa sounds like Batman. I'm Batman. Yeah. It's not like that. So sorry if I said it's justice. Not like I apologize to all the fans of the show.
Is that Sierra Nevada? No?
Yes,
I'm
actually,
trying
this
to.
is a big little thing, Imperial IPA. I've been drinking all night. It's hump day.
Is
This is our
that why?
There's a bar across the street, like 3/4 of a mile. I just need to start going to. I know people just go and like smoke cigarettes at like 12.
Yeah, you're still in your parents' house, Tanner?
Yeah, but they live near like this biker bar. I went
There's a
one time
bar right here.
yeah, to pick up food. Yeah, believe it or not, to pick up food at like lunchtime, and there were people just drinking, which was really sad because it was like a Thursday at like lunchtime. I don't know. It smelled like cigarettes. Like, you know, some. Where am I going with this? This is about to be completely inaccurate, so I stopped talking. Well, yeah, like certain people dislike alcohol because they understand its like destructive effects on society. You know what I mean? Like they kind of understand that, and you kind of see it when you go into Bradley's across the street, right? You see the effects of alcohol and it as a vice on these people, right? They're in there on Thursday at 12 o'clock. So, well, that's the
Really
podcast for
dark.
you
That's the
guys. Thank you guys so
that's
much
the
for
show.
listening. You can find Daniel on Twitter at Daniel Silverstein,
I don't think so, but
Elizabeth at Elizabeth. She's the only Elizabeth on Twitter, so she shouldn't be that way.
Be
Of course,
easy to find me.
your host Tanner Debates at tdebates1 on Twitter, and that's my Twitter
is that
handle.
is that what I should write?
What?
He debates one.
Tdebates1. I mean, that's like don't actually use that. That might be my like username or password for something.
Probably your old GT username. Or were you T Debates 3?
No, I was tdebates3. I was a 3 kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think the first person who like gets a number gets 3. I don't think they use 1 or 2. I think they just start at 3.
Daniel, are you a 3?
I'm a 3.
Good for you. Well, what am I on Twitter, actually? Hold on, let me check. I think that might be, like, my Venmo name instead, actually.
Oh, well, there you go. If you guys would like to
Oh, well, people
Venmo
can Venmo you.
If you
Tanner.
want to Venmo Tanner, tdebates1, or Tanner Debates. I don't know. Please send me money. Like, you don't have to, and if I get even a cent from saying this, I'll pay you $1 back. If anyone makes it this far in the podcast and they find me on Venmo and they pay me a cent, I will pay you $1.
For listening to us ramble.
Listening to yes, let's ramble. Like I doubt. Here's the thing: it's like, what is our like click through rate? Like, who's clicking through 50 minutes of podcast to get to the end to listen to the ramble about the Batman to then go look up Tanner Debates on Venmo and to pay them a cent? No one's doing that. At certain stages, we're losing a percentage of our audience, and we don't have that much percent, fair. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you pay me a cent, I'll pay you $1. That's a bet I'm willing to take, just because like it doesn't hurt. I think, but prove
All right.
me.
We'll see in a couple of weeks if Tanner's out like $50 or something.
I doubt that happens.
$100.
Because there's a lot of barriers to entry in this bet. Pay me a cent on Venmo. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll like your comment. You guys are omitted from that. So if I catch either one of you like trying to Venmo for $1, that won't fly in this house. No
I need
shit.
that
They'll just
$1 from
Venmo you
Tanner.
anyway.
What?
Yeah, maybe I'll just donate to T Debates 1.
Yeah, just if you donated me $1, then I would not pay you anything in return. You'd be out $1. But it would go to a good charity. Me. Okay.
What a great joke to end the podcast on. Hopefully you guys were laughing the entire way. I know I did. I know Daniel didn't, and I think Elizabeth was muted for most of it. So thank you guys.